Good morning, my dear teachers. Today we are planning to discuss about flipped classrooms. What is flipped classroom? Why should we go for these things? What is its requirement now? Why should we go for this? And in which way our children are going to get benefited with these flipped classrooms? So flipped classroom is a teaching strategy that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instructional content outside of the classroom. It moves activities like projects, assignments, homeworks, etc. into the class. You see, we are not in contact with our children physically. Most of the things, maybe since last 15 months or more than that, all right, the academic transactions are happening in virtual mode only. So in this virtual mode, always we have a doubt whether the student is there in the class or not, because he is logged in but is not physically seen, all right, and whether the student, even he is appearing on the screen, is he really present in the class mentally, or only his physical appearance is there? Because you can very well understand the children can use the technology in a better way than we do, all right. They can keep camera on and they can chat over another electronic gadget. They can text or message to other people. They can engage themselves in some other activity as well. So the most important point for us is to create a feeling among the children or among every individual to feel that they are interested to learn something. When the concept or when any of the subject is interesting, then children would automatically participate in the class or they participate in the discussion. And another point, the extent to which a student can be active in a class is also a point of concern. That means a student cannot continuously concentrate on a topic for 10 to 15 minutes or more than that. Of course, we are demanding them to concentrate it for a period, or rather for 4 hours together at a stretch. We are asking for that. But usually, if student is allowed to learn at his or her own pace, they prefer to take a break after 15 minutes, maybe after 20 minutes, something like that. Okay, so to address all these issues, the new technology which has come up, or the new methodology which has come up, is the flipped classroom. So in the flipped classroom, there are 4 important points. They are starting with FLIP, of course. Each letter of flip represents its 4 pillars, and what are those? Those are flexible environment. In flipped classroom, teachers need to create flexible learning environment by providing opportunities for students to choose when and where they want to learn. It's not that only during the class they are learning. Of course, during online class they are attending. Besides that, they will have a possibility to learn from other sources as well, at their ease, at their comfort. This is flexible environment. And the learning culture. In flipped model, class time is shifting to discuss more in depth about the topic. Moreover, flipped classroom changes the traditional learning culture into learner-centered class. As a result, students are actively involved in the knowledge construction. Okay, and what is this knowledge construction? That means understanding the concept by themselves, by referring to lot many other sites which are available and getting deeper learning condition. This is learning culture. And intentional content. Flipped learning requires intentional content. Means in flipped model, the teachers determine what they need to teach and what material students should handle on their own. This is very important point for us, because as a teacher, if you want to teach particular topic, you must clearly understand in online class what and all topics can be taught and which and all topics related to the same concept can be given as a reference work or the home task or as a project. All these things we need to know. We also know nowadays we are working on it, of course. Those are art integrated methods, or what else, the physical education is also been included into the teaching methodology of other subjects. That means integrating different subjects and teaching them together. This concept is also there. Alright, so any concept you take in your subject can be dealt with an experiment or with a project or with a video or anything, alright, which is related to other subjects even. But the bottom line is the student must get influenced to concentrate on that class. Student must involve himself or herself in this class mentally. Alright, this is very much important. Then professional educator. The role of a professional educator is even more important in a flipped classroom than in traditional one. You see, you might feel that in the traditional one, we go to the classroom, we give a lecture and students note down, and then they explore other ways maybe afterwards, alright, after the class, alright, and there ends the role of teacher. Now you see, in few years, the coming 2-3 years, the teacher word might get replaced by educator. That means we are all educators, we are no more teachers. Alright, then here educator, what is the role of educator? It is slightly above or much above the traditional teacher word. Here the role of a professional educator is even more important in a flipped classroom than in a traditional one. So the flipped model needs instructors who can observe, provide timely feedback, continuously assess the work what the children are doing, and help students master the content. This is something only professional educators can do. That means we only can do this one. Then what are the advantages of this flipped classroom? See, all these advantages are exactly suiting the conditions what we are in now. Alright, here students take ownership for learning. It promotes student-centered learning and collaboration. This is what we intend to do now in this pandemic period. Lessons and content are more accessible. These are more accessible because they are available to the students 24 hours. Any day, any time, the child can refer to the concept what he or she has learned much earlier. He can visit back to that. Then it emphasizes on cooperative learning. What is this cooperative learning? That is, children might contact his or her peer group and learn from them as well. It gives more time to explore the content. Alright, so one particular student has got a doubt and on one particular concept, he can explore it further. So the learning would be deeper. Okay, and obviously with all these things it would be more efficient. Okay, now what is this traditional versus flipped classroom? How do they look different? That is, students in traditional classroom, that means a year back or 2 years back what we were doing, that is, during the class students watch lecture given by professor, and after the class student consolidate their understanding. That means they refer to the notebook what they have made in the class, and they refer to the textbook, and they may refer to the another copy, maybe seniors copy on seniors classwork, or the so-called extra support what they are getting, maybe in the online classes or the offline classes, coaching material, all these things. They are expected to keep all these things together, and they are supposed to consolidate their understanding about that concept. Whereas in flipped classroom, students do reading or watch lecture prior to class. That means before you start the class, supposing I am trying to teach a topic, digestion, human digestion, or the digestive system in human beings. If I am trying to teach this one, this should be known to the students beforehand, that on this particular day this topic will be taught, and children would give prior to the class itself, they give some reading about this. That means students do read or watch a lecture prior to class. Then what happens during the class? Range of activities or discussions or quizzes led by professor or the educator, but centered on students to consolidate understanding. This is what very important. That means children have learned. No, I take it as first step is what topic will be taught is known to the students beforehand. That is the reason even syllabus breakup is becoming more and more important. This has to be disclosed to the children. Okay, so when this is known to the children, they are expected to give some initial readings on that topic. They are expected to watch certain things. Then what happens when they watch videos or read about this topic? They obviously get certain doubts, and these doubts are to be clarified during the class. That is it. So during the class, what is happening? The teacher or the educator is designing different activities depending on the age group of the child, their socio-economic status, and their learning level. Okay, what sort of learner is that? What sort of learning level they have got? Based on these things, activities are being designed. And these activities, discussions and quizzes led by professor, and all these are centered on students' learning, and it helps in students' consolidated understanding. That is it. Then after the class, what they will be doing? Students further consolidate understanding and prepare for next class. Hope you are getting it. Alright. So this is what is the basic concept of flipped classroom. Okay. So now it is already, we had discussed a little about this. What is the flipped classroom, traditional versus flipped classroom. We have seen that. What the flipped classroom enables teachers to do, what are the benefits for the student, these things we have seen. Okay, and where it has started. See, I shall, in this slide I am trying to address that students, all of you agree, students' learning levels are different. Students learn the things in different paces. Some of the students will grasp the concept immediately. Some of the students, they require twice or thrice repetition of the topic. Then only they will learn. Okay, so based on this we can very well classify this into the slow, medium and fast type of learning among students. And students missing important pieces of information from class even though they were present. You say, does it happen or not? If a student is regularly writing the notes, his or her attention might slip for a moment in which teacher has said some important thing, or on that particular day the student might have some ailment, so the student is not able to concentrate on the class. Okay, could be possible. Okay, and then students being absent. This is, you see, the previous point what I was saying is physically they are present, but they are not actively involved in the class. Whereas in the other point, students might be absent completely because they are sick, they are involved in some sport activities or something like that. Okay, and students, so these students, if they are missing these lessons, it can be supported by the recorded classes. Students not completing homework fully or correctly at home because they forgot how to do it from class. Okay, or you see, this also we frequently find it out. That is, when we were attending traditional classes, supposing mathematics homework is given, all right, and in the some 3 or 4 students in a class strength of 40 would be doing the mathematics homework, and since first period onwards, remaining students, they keep on copying that. You must have come across this sort of situations. All right, mathematics period is the 6th period, and before 6th period at least some 10-15 students, they copy the answers which are made by some other student. All right, so all such sort of things would be removed by this. Okay, so where it has started, teachers spending most of class time lecturing and not giving students a lot of time to practice on their own without support. Teachers spending many extra hours tutoring and re-explaining to students who did not get it in the class. Okay, all these things, because of these things only these flipped classrooms have come. I just given a pictorial representation of how flipped classroom looks like, because you see, in the traditional classroom, teacher's role is sage on the stage. All right. That means, what is that? They take a elevated platform and they lecture. Whereas in a flipped classroom, teacher's role is guide on the side. They are working together with the kids. You see, can you see these 3 students are in one group, they are discussing. And here 2 more are there who are being guided by the teacher physically. Whereas in this case, all the 5 are facing towards the board. They are waiting for the lecture today, and here the activity today. That means what they are expected to do. Okay, and watch lecture online tonight. Watch lecture online tonight. Okay, that is it. This is what is about the changed classroom scenario, or changed classroom looks. So few more. See, this many of the slides are having the differences between the traditional classroom and flipped classroom, so that every teacher would understand it in a clear way. Okay, so school, here in the traditional classroom, lecture happens first, assign homework, this happens first, and at home, completing the homework, consolidating the studies, they used to happen. Okay, and flipped classroom, first let the student know about the topic, what topic it is, view instructional videos at home before the class itself, listen to the teacher's podcasts or any material, listen to that, and complete quick assessments so teachers can gauge understanding before tomorrow's class. And during the school, do the school work. What used to be assigned for homework, that will be done in the school now, and teachers can offer one-on-one help. Individual help is to be done. That means individually we need to take care of the children. If some of the student has not understood one concept, that can be dealt one-to-one basis. What is it good for? Struggling learner. Even it is good for this gifted learner also. Gifted learners would be going ahead in that particular topic. Struggling learners will be getting a minimal knowledge what they should have on this concept, that they will be getting by the time the class gets over. Then on grade level students and on high achieving students also it is helpful. Gifted students also it is helpful. Students who have checked out. What do you mean by checked out? Alright, that means those who are not started attending the class but who could not complete the class, for them also it would be helpful. Students who love to learn, they also get benefited by this. Then in the flipped classroom, responsibility for learning flipped from teacher's hand to student's hand. Face-to-face time flipped from teacher focused to student focused. Alright, about the Bloom's taxonomy also there is something it is given. In the flipped model, I just want to spend only 1 minute in this. That is, flipped model would be having all these areas, that is applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating. All these things, they get clubbed together. And they are happening in the interaction during the classroom itself. Okay, that is it. Then what flipping enables me to do? Yes, this you can go through. Okay, I will concentrate on the yes. What flipping enables my students to do? This one is what flipping enables teachers to do. Work one-on-one with every student in my class every day as they need it. Work with individuals and small groups in class. Students who might not have technology or parents to help them outside school now have teachers guiding them and supporting them in a class. See, it seems to be the higher responsibility what we previously have. Then create a dynamic, engaging and interactive classroom focused on student to student interactions. Revisit concepts students don't understand in a more differentiated environment. And then what students can do? Students can pause, rewind and re-watch the lessons. That means it is learning at their own pace. Some of the topic, if they want to visit again and again, they can view to that. And students can access the content of their class anytime, anywhere on any device. Anytime, anywhere on any device they can get the content. Students receive instant feedback and teachers can spend more time helping students and explaining difficult concepts. So broadly speaking, you see, as what we are doing now in the online classes. In the online classes also teachers constantly struggle to identify or to look at the students whether they are in the class or not. Okay, so hereafter, if at all we are going for the, we have to, of course, we have to go for the flipped classrooms. In this, what is happening, we would be interacting with the students one-on-one basis. And students' benefits and goals. Don't have to worry about being absent and missing content. Can access the content or the concepts anytime, anywhere. Lessons being taught too fast to comprehend. getting stuck on homework problems with no support. For this also they don't need to worry. Being bored because the content is too easy. Okay, if that is the case, what happens? The student will forward the topic, goes to the next 10 minutes or next 5 minutes. Okay, forgetting old material and having no way to reassess it. Okay, because now that means everything is with us. All right, so look at this, the whole thing is going somewhere where children might not require to keep their notebooks, is going towards that. All right, yes, and then students can focus on being an active responsible learner. This is very, very important. That is the responsibility of creating this sort of atmosphere for the learner lies with teachers only. Okay, working and collaborating with classmates to deepen understanding, deep learning, being in charge of their learning and their success in class. They themselves are supposed to take the responsibility. Hereafter our teacher is not present in the class, teacher is not teaching well, all these things will not happen, will not go well. Okay, students need to take the responsibility of their own learnings. Working with concept, they need more support in understanding. If there is particular concept which requires repeated practice, all right, children would automatically understand that it requires more practice and they involve themselves in more and more practice. Manage their time to meet given learning objectives. What do students now do at home? That means now, step 1, they are supposed to watch 5 to 10 minutes long videos, or in our case it would be 20 to 30 minutes videos. Take a note and copy examples. Pause, rewind and fast forward as required. Okay, this is what they are expected to do according to the flipped classroom. And then practice form. At the practice parts in the videos, pause and complete the exercise in the Google form. And after watching the video, answer 2 questions: what you understand most, which part you still confused about. Because these things are required for the class, online class, what they are going to attend with the teacher the next day maybe. Okay, what do students now do in class? That means next day when they come to the class, either physically or virtually, when they come to the class, what are they expected to do? Work on differentiated activities given by the teacher. That means by this time you see teachers are expected to create many activities ready for them. Alright, here comes the importance of different types of learners. We have learnt in our psychology or in the other areas of modern teaching, we have 4 types of learners: visual, auditory, and reading and writing type, and kinesthetic. The 4 types of learners are there. So to address these 4 types of learners, we need to create activities. So all the students who are kinesthetic, they would be going and doing these activities in one corner. Alright, reading and writing type, they would be working on the maybe in the library on the same topic. Okay, so like this we need to plan. We need to plan different activities for all the students. Get individual or small group help. Okay, so the students, when they are diffused like into the different groups, they are divided, they would be working on these things, and then do concept quizzes on Edmodo. This is what is that? When all these learnings are done in different activities, they can come together and they can share their views. Share their views means whatever they have learned, alright, in the form of quizzes. All the students, they gather together and they either exhibit or they question the other teams about the content what they have learned, and then work on short term or long term projects. Okay, this is it. So these are the things what children are expected to do in flipped classroom when they come to the class physically. Okay, then there are certain sites here, whatever are given, you can very well go through those things and get some extra ideas. And if you final thoughts on the flip, of course this you can go through. Yes, now I am coming to the another part. In the beginning of this session, maybe in the month of March 2011 or April 2011, we have got certain email IDs from the CBSE. CBSE Digital Edu.in. My number was, every teacher has got that. What is that? 103030 dash dash. There are 2 digits here at the rate CBSE Digi Edu.in. This sort of email ID every one of us got. In that we had attended 5 sessions by the experts from Finland Education Department, in collaboration with the Finland, and one professor of Indian origin. She was explaining all the things and we had attended all those classes. Alright, so in that they had given us some apps which are to be learned by the teachers, and using these apps you can create flipped classroom lesson plans. A flipped classroom material we can prepare. So I am trying to talk about these things. One is about the Padlet. You see here Padlet, and you can sign up for free for this one. Alright, so what do? You go to the Google Play Store and type Padlet, 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 and you will get Padlet app. Open that, browse through that, and then you can create your own pages like this. You can have a wall. You can create a wall. You can get a stream. A video can be added to this. You can have a canvas, the flow chart sort of thing. You can have a shelf which has got many attachments in this. Again, if see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, let us say 4 are there here. In everywhere there are some links. If you click on this link, you are directed to some other page where you have lot of information about one of the topic. Okay, then you can have a grid, you can have a timeline. Timelines can be used for the social science teachers. Okay, and see, maps can be used by social science teachers. It's not that you will take up only this. There are tens of apps like this, and all these apps are freely available. You need to check out in which area you can work very well, and your creations would be stored with you only. Alright, and you can use these things for the next the forthcoming years also you can use. So this is Padlet, one thing. We have Poplet. This Poplet is also, this is the simplest way to visualize ideas. This is the simplest way to visualize ideas, capture, organize and collaborate. And then Lino, sticky and photo sharing for you. Okay, so this is also one of the app. This app you can use, colorful collaboration with Lino. Okay, this is also free app. All these things which are mentioned here are the free apps. Wakelet, Wakelet, Wakelet is exclusively for educators. Okay, and you can sign it up for free. All right, Wakelet is there, and then ThingLink. ThingLink is another very good. Here, whatever are given, these are very good and proven apps to reach the children in the flipped classrooms. ThingLink is the another one, and Prezi. Prezi is the another one. Okay, why hide behind a slide? Unlike screen sharing, Prezi videos lets you interact with your visuals on screen. Okay, supposing you wanted to, you have liked one YouTube presentation very much, you liked it and you felt that it is most apt to explain particular concept. All right, so you can play that and you can pause it. When that presentation is still going on, you can be seen on the screen. You can narrate, you can add up your inputs into that video, and while you are doing this, you would be appearing on the screen along with that video. Alright, so that would be possible in Prezi. Okay, so, and book creator, you can very well create a book. Okay, that means if there are or you can even give these things as a project work for the children also, about one concept, about any one of the concept we can do this. Okay, book creator. And then Canva. Canva, I believe, yes, some of our teachers are using it already. Alright, designed for everyone, Canva. And then Google Docs, this is very much familiar to us. All of us are repeatedly using it, Google Docs. And Google Forms, this also many of our teachers are doing it. I have tried to involve teachers in creating Google Forms and collecting the information from the parents. So Google Forms can be one way a evaluative tool also. Many of the schools are using it as a that is evaluating tool, online evaluation. To do that, they are doing it, they are using it. All right, so you can also have Google Forms. Okay, then EduPuzzle. Now hereafter we are going for the evaluating tools. This one, EduPuzzle, is a evaluative tool. That means you have taken a class, let us say, after that you wanted to evaluate how much the children have understood the topic. For this you wanted to know. Alright, for this EduPuzzle would be one good app, and another one is Kahoot. Kahoot is also a good app. And then Nearpod. You'll wonder how you taught without it. Okay, engaging media and formative assessments to make every lesson interactive. This is it. Nearpod, the caption for the Nearpod is given. Alright, so during the last school year, students joined over 120 million lessons. Okay, Mentimeter is another evaluative tool which you can use it while the class is going on. That time itself you can use it. While the class is going on, you can shoot out particular poll sort of thing. You can shoot it out, okay, to the children. Then whiteboard.fi. Okay, this also would be feasible. And then yes, once again, forms can be a effective tool. Forms can be a effective tool for evaluating the children, either in the formative assessment or in the summative assessment. Okay, so that's it. Then besides this, if you see, there are certain templates for teachers. Higher order thinking skills templates, interactive notebook templates, sticky note brainstorming template, distance learning organizers, basic hyperdoc templates, 5 years. This is what we have studied, 5 years. And hyperdoc and creative writing, hyperdoc examples in science, all those things. Okay, and there are lot many resources available in different websites. So all these teacher resources can be used, all right, but utilize this vacation, and as HRDC DPS Society has asked us to prepare one flipped classroom or the flipped activity or the flipped lesson plan, something which is of 15 minutes. Okay, let us work on this, and not only for this period, hereafter the education system itself is taking a big change, is passing through a big change. All right, so hereafter we need to have all lesson plans, all concepts dealt in this format. That is the reason there is a requirement for us to work in flipped classrooms, right? So please utilize your time, visit different sites and create your own material during this summer vacation or even later. And once, please remember that once you have created a lesson plan, that is your own your own material, it is, that can be used year after year, again and again you can use, and every year it gets improvised, because once you have taken that class you will get lot many inputs from the students to improve it further. All right, so you can improvise the new techniques and it will be improved, and you can use these things in the further years as well. Okay, thank you, and based on these points only, let us prepare flipped classroom models, and that is what we are expected to send to the DPS Society HRDC. Okay, thank you.